Good morning, my name is Manisha Thompson, and today I'm going to be discussing the article that I picked for my class here at GCU. It's entitled Shakespeare in the Bush, written by Laura Bohannes, and the article was published in the year 1966 on September, and I'm reading it from the source Natural History. That's the source I'm reading it from. So the article basically talked about a woman who is Laura. She traveled to a Western culture to observe their way of living, their norms, their beliefs, values, stuff like that. But instead, she learned a new perspective of a well-known American poet, Hamlet. The ethnocentric bias of the article is basically about the author. The author thinks that she could relate to the people in the village when it had came to story time telling. For instance, the norm in the story that she was trying to talk about was ghosts. She was mentioning ghosts for some reason. And for me, I can relate to that because I don't celebrate Halloween. You know, I'm a Christian, born and raised Lutheran, and we see Halloween as demonic and not spiritual and not of God. So the people in the village were like, we can't relate to this. There's no such thing as ghosts. So now when it comes to incorporating worldviews, I would mention empathy. We should just respect other people's beliefs, their decisions, their choices. Not everyone is alike, and that's what makes us different. That's what makes us stand out, you know? We all share different beliefs and different norms and different customs, and I think it's such a beautiful thing that we all could come together and share different stories and laugh together and, you know, feel for each other. So like, for instance, my experience that I'm about to share with you for a culture misunderstanding was when I first moved to New York. I'm from the Caribbean, as I mentioned prior in this video, and everyone took me for Hispanic or Indian, and people would come up to me and like the Indians and stuff and start like bowing and like talking to me in their language, and the Hispanics will come up to me and start talking to me in Spanish and stuff. And when I mentioned, hey, I only understand English and I only speak English, so I'm sorry I can't help you, they'll get mad. Some of them will get rude. Some of them will think that I don't want to help them and I don't want to be kind. And I'm like, don't judge me though, just because I look like this. I'm not whatever you think I am, you know? And for a long time, I was a little bit upset. I was like, this isn't right. And then when I learned to appreciate them and their beliefs and stuff, I was like, you know what? These are some good people. So that's my personal example of a cultural misunderstanding. I judged, I guess, a little bit too hard maybe at first, but in a sense I don't blame me, because I feel like they should, I don't know, understand where I'm coming from too. But yeah, so almost by the end of the article, the author realized that, hey, this tale was not meant for these people. They don't believe in Hamlet's tale. It's not universal. So what the author did, she eventually broke down the tale of Hamlet in which the people of the village could understand what she's trying to say. And surprisingly, they understood, you know, and they gave her their version and their examples, and they spoke about it, they shared their ideas and their thoughts. It was a beautiful thing, you know? I do think this was a beautiful article, And like I mentioned before, my references is from Shakespeare in the Bush by Laura Bohan, and it's from the Natural History article. Thank you.